Hi everyone, I'm Katie from the Cedar Falls Public Library, and I'm here today to show you a little crafty thing that you can do at home with stuff you probably hopefully have around your house. We are going to make these little dinosaur marionettes today. So mostly they're made out of recycled materials, except for the Easter egg for the head. So that's the only thing that is not really recycled material, but I'm hoping close to Easter maybe you happen to have a little plastic egg lying around. In addition to that, we will also need a piece of cardboard. I recommend, I'm using a graham cracker box, a cereal box, pasta box, something that is cardboard but kind of flexible, not like a big delivery box cardboard. You'll need some paper. Any paper will do. I am using an ad, but if you have white computer paper or notebook paper, anything like that will work. We also will be using some kind of string. If you have fishing line, that will also work for the when you're tying it up to the stick to move them around, but I don't have any fishing line, so I just use normal string. If you don't have string, yarn or ribbon would also work. You will need a toilet paper tube or a paper towel tube cut in half. You'll need a pair of scissors. Kids, please make sure that you ask mom and dad's permission before you get some scissors out. We'll need some kind of markers or crayons or colored pencils, anything that you have that you can color with. And that's optional, so you don't have to do that if you don't want to. A pencil would be helpful, and then you'll need some tape. I have two kinds of tape, but really you can use just one kind if you have Scotch tape or masking tape. I'm using some masking tape because I don't have a lot of Scotch tape left, and of course in this climate we cannot go to the store as often, so we're just going to use a little bit of both today. Alright, so with all of that, let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to make the body of our dinosaur. So we're going to use the toilet paper tube or the paper towel tube for that. The very first thing I would say to do is that you're going to want to decorate it. To put the legs on and the dinosaur spikes, we're going to be taping onto the tube, and so you'll want to have it colored beforehand. So you can color it any way you want to. I think that I am going to do some scales on mine, but you do not have to do that if you don't want to. And also, don't worry if they're not perfect. You can do them however you want. Alright, there we go. The next thing that you need to do is that we're going to fold our roll to make it the body of the dinosaur. So what I did is I just folded it in like this, and then we're going to fold the edges down too. It doesn't matter if they're perfect. This is your dinosaur, so make it how you want to. Do the same on this side. Okay, so something kind of like this. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. So then we have a little dinosaur body. Okay, so after this, we're going to set this aside for a moment. And we're going to work on the body of the long tail and the neck, I should say, of the dinosaur. For that, we're going to take our piece of paper. So I recommend having two sheets, this width, and I have two separate sheets like this. You can do more if you want. It might give it a little more strength if you do that. Okay, so you're going to roll it up to make the long piece that we have here. This is all one sheet here. Just start here and just roll it up. Then you'll have a sheet kind of like this. And then what you want to do is you just want to put some tape right here to kind of keep it in place. I recommend the clear tape. Ooh, almost lost my ink. Just so that way I won't be able to see it as much. The next part is to put it in the body. Just gonna unfold what we already folded. The reason why we wanted to fold it first before we do the stuff is so it's easier to fold it once we have the paper in there. So, because this is gonna go in here like this, okay? Now what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna tape your magazine, or your paper I should say, into the inside of the paper towel roll. So that way you can, it won't move when you're doing your thing. So for this, I use my masking tape because no one's going to see inside. So you can get some of this. And then you're going to want to put, I recommend putting one on the top and taping one on the bottom part of your body. So that way you can, so you have a tail and a head, it's a little easier that way. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fold this little guy down a bit. So, put your things in here, put your little guy down. So we did our sides and we put this little guy down. And then we'll have some tape and we'll tape that. Then just tape that right down there. And then we'll do the same thing down here on the bottom. Put our sides in. We'll smush that bottom or that top down in there. So we put our sides in. Put your bottom down there. And we'll put some tape on that too. And like I said, this doesn't have to be perfect. Just however you want to do it is just fine. So there we go. Got some tape on there. Does it look like a dinosaur yet? If you want to, you can color your paper. Okay, voila. Next, spikes. Okay, for the spikes, you're gonna need your box here. So, what you're gonna do for this is you're just gonna draw some triangles. You can make them any size that you want, but you do need a little extra space because you're gonna have to fold the bottom part to make a little tab to tape it onto the body. You probably wanna make them a little bigger than what you think you're gonna need them to be, because you'll have to take, like I said, make a tab there. So there we go. Now, like I've been telling you, these are not perfect triangles, that's fine. Just draw them the best you can. They don't have to be perfect. And then get your scissors and cut those out. There's my dinosaur spikes. Now, I'm going to really quick color them because if you don't color them ahead of time, after you put tape on them, it's really hard to color them. So I figured it's best to do it now. After you have that done, you're gonna have to fold them so you can tape them down. So what I like to do is I folded them like this. And so this part here where you made the tab is where you will put the tape on to tape it onto the body. So here's your triangle right here. So you're just gonna fold the bottom of it back a bit. So there's a little tab that the tape can go on. Alright, so we're gonna grab our dinosaur back. So here's your Dinosaur Spikes. You're gonna put them right on the back there, and we're gonna use our clear tape, if you have it. If not, any tape will work. Or you could also use glue if you wanted to. You would have to wait for it to dry, but I'm sure like Elmer's glue would work fine for this as well. So we're just going to put some tape right on there. Tape that down. And then we're going to use our second one, and we're going to do the same thing. We'll put that up there. And put your tape right on there. And then it looks like this. Okay, it's starting to look like a dinosaur, right? Next, let's do our head. Okay, so you have your Easter egg. If you have the ones that split along this way, that's fine too. You can pop it that way. But you're gonna take it, you're gonna put some of the neck into the egg, and then you're gonna shut the egg right in there. And if you don't want your neck to be as long, you can always cut. You could stuff more in the egg, or you could cut some of this off before you do this stuff too. So try to squish that down in there. You have to kind of move the paper a little bit to actually get it to shut, but it's not really going to stay shut real well. So what I would do is I would put some tape over it just to help that stay shut. And clear tape if you have it. If not, you can use your masking tape or whatever kind of tape you have. Just put a little bit more right here. All right, there we are. Okay, so now our dinosaur has a head and a body. Very cool. Okay, now the next thing we need to do is he needs some legs, don't you think? He's missing some legs. So we are gonna make some feet. So once again, we're gonna use our cardboard here. And we're just going to draw some feet. And true to what I've been telling you all day, they don't have to be perfect. We're going to do 4 feet. Once again, handy dandy scissors. Cut these out. After you have your feet cut out, we will want to color them. Because they're tiny, I'm going to put them on cardboard because I don't want to color on my table on accident. It's a good tip for you kids at home. Okay, there we go. Dinosaur feet. Pretty awesome. Okay, so next we're going to use our string, and we are going to cut out some legs. So for this, what I did is I kind of took 2 parts here and sort of measured how long I wanted them to be, and or how I thought, and then I took my dinosaur body. I keep calling it a dragon. You could also make a dragon if you wanted to. Just cut some wings out and tape those on with the cardboard. That would be very cool. So I took up my dinosaur body and I held the string up to see how long I want my legs to be. And I think that's pretty good. I want him to have long legs, or should I do short legs? Yeah, I think I like them about there. So we'll have 2 legs, and then, you know, looped it, and then just cut it right down here on the bottom. So, voila. And then what you're going to do is take your tape again, and take a little piece of it, and you're going to tape this foot on here. And I made my feet really small this time. If you have extra tape, you can just tuck it under like that. I'll do the same with my other one. Once you have 2 sets of feet done, you're going to tape them onto the bottom of your body. So you're going to put them right down here. You're going to tape and tape, so that way the feet will be hanging like here. And then take some tape here. So I flipped it over. And then put some tape down here. A little more tape on there. There we go, that's pretty good. Okay, so 2 down, 2 more to go. Okay, so that's all good. There's our legs on our dinosaur. All right, and so the very last thing that we have to do is we have to make a face on our egg here. So you can draw, you know, eyes, mouth, nostrils, whatever you want your dinosaur to have on it. There's that. You can, like I said, you can try to bend your paper a little bit so you can get a little more shape to your tails and your necks if you want to. And then the very last thing that we need to do is that we need to make a handle for it. So I have a pencil here. You could also use a popsicle stick, a chopstick, a kebab stick, marker, colored pencil, whatever you have on hand. You just need something up here so you can, a straw would work. Anyway, you just need something up here so you can control your little puppet. And then you're going to take your string. If you have fishing line, this is a good one to use fishing line on so your strings aren't visible, but like I said earlier, I do not have that. I'm just going to measure my old one. So see, I'm measuring a little extra here because you're going to want a little more because you can tie the knot. You can always cut off the ends when you're done. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your string and you're going to tie it around your stick, whatever you're using, a pencil or whatever you have. So I would say tie 2 knots so it will stay. And then you're going to take this part and you're going to tie it around your dinosaur's neck. So that will control that part of his body. We got one done. I have a little extra ropes here, like down here that I don't want, so I'll just snip that part off there. All right. And then we just have to do our other one. Now I'm going to do this one a little longer, like I said in the beginning of this video, because I want to be able to have the head up a little higher and the tail more down low. All right, so tie that second knot down there on his tail. Then once you get that done, you can cut off any extra you have, and there you have it. You have a Dinosaur Marionette. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me today. If you if you make this Dinosaur Marionette, please post a picture of it on our Facebook page because we would love to see what you guys are making. And if you have any creative twists on it, we'd love to see that too. So yeah, make sure you share your finished products with us. And with that, I will say goodbye. Have fun crafting.